successful sandwich. With that being said, your first amazing bite will be coming up over here on the left or on this driver's side, the tree in the middle of this field. Now this is a 400-year-old Virginia live oak tree. What's incredible about the Virginia live oak is that it does have a tendency of growing more wide than it does tall, with the largest spanning about half the size of a football field. And no food for the duration of the tour. And the final rule, which is the one I touched on before we began, remain seated the way your seat is designed for the duration of the tour. No standing, no switching of rows, no sitting backwards on your knees, things of that nature. The reason we emphasize this is because when they smoothed out these roads to make way for these trains, they did not cut the root systems of these trees, simply rendered worthless. In order to get back some of their losses as quickly as possible, the Draytons sold off 1,500 of their original 2,000 acres to a phosphate mining company. But knowing that was just one chunk of money one time that they also needed an annual income, they opened the remaining 500 acres for tourism in 1870. In 3 feet of water is a world of water-loving snakes, along with the American alligator. Now the first major thing you're going to start to notice are going to be these islands in the middle of the water. An island is a body of land surrounded by water, but it's also implied that human recreation can happen there. These are built for birds, not people, and if you look closely at the bottom, you'll notice it has dirt and not sand, which is why it's known as a rookery instead of a regular island. At the top, you'll notice these beautiful black birds. Those are known as anhinga. The males tend to have the silver type color on their wings, while the females look like they're sort of wearing a brown little scarf. But they are spear fishermen in bird form. Their beak is incredibly sharp, and as they fly over the water, they dive down face first, stabbing into their prey. It really is incredible watching them hunt. They're 2 feet long, you can accurately say they are 2 years old. But they do grow differently after the age of 5, and that's a good thing because they live to be on average 30 to 50 years old. If alligators grew a foot per year their entire lives, that would be 30 to 50 foot alligators. But the way it stands, males get on average around 14 feet and females on average around 10 feet. Also another beautiful great egret coming up on the right or on the passenger side. Now whether you're looking on the left or the right, I do want to explain the green stuff floating above the water. People tend to think that this stuff is algae or pond scum. That is not what this is at all. This stuff is known as duckweed. If you are looking for an immersive boardwalk view of these incredible creatures, that'll be this area on the left or on this driver's side known as Audubon Swamp. Named for John J. Audubon, whose biggest claim to fame was painting the birds of America. He was a self-taught artist that took himself all around the United States, teaching himself different techniques through watercolors. It wasn't until the age of 41 when he finally completed and published The Birds of America, which features over 450 different birds from all over this country. When that phosphate mining was depleted, they let it go back wild, and that's where those pigs are known to go. And while it is adjacent to here, we don't have to worry about them much during the day. They do like to come here at night to get an access of fresh roots because we do keep up with this property. But I'm not trying to show you how fearlessly close the pigs hunt to us people. They come out at night, we're not here for that. I do want to show you how dangerously close they're getting to that pond on the other side of these trees. Grass continues out to smash down streaks that go out into the distance. If you were to follow those streaks out about 150 or so feet, it would eventually drop down to our boat tour waters. The boat tour waters do have an exit to the Atlantic Ocean. The alligators climb out there for deeper room to roam, more socialization, and most importantly, that amazing access to food. In the next century or so, this will be not only one of the tallest, but one of the youngest trees in all of Magnolia, and its origin is from well over 2,000 miles away. Originally, the Draytons were gifted 3 California redwoods in hopes that more would sprout up. Before that could happen, 2 of those trees fell due to natural disasters. Things like hurricanes, tropical storms, flooding, things of that nature. To take a nap or to see groups of birds landing and resting themselves before they continue on their route. If you do want to come back here, you can take the route we're taking, which looks like train tracks on your map, but a quicker way, walk through the gardens and follow the gardens to the very, very end. And that's what's exiting right here in front of the tower. It is some of the best air you'll be around. As I exit the woods and wrap up the last few minutes of the tour, I feel like everything gets left on a high note except for swamps, and I want to leave you on a swampy high note. Change the colors of everything around you. Filters in these Virginia live oaks do complement each other incredibly well. Coming up next on our left or on this driver's side is the most photographed location in the state of South Carolina. And in case you're curious, no, I am not talking about the house. Coming up over here on the left or on this driver's side, I'm referring to this beautiful little bridge. This bridge was built back in 1840 and lasted for 180 years. It wasn't until 2020 that a tropical storm came through and knocked down a tree that took that bridge down. They were able to recover about 20 to 30 boards of that bridge, and they used it when they rebuilt it 3 years ago. So while it is not authentic to the original 1840, it was rebuilt in that original design using those pieces they were able to recover.
Alright, just check with your mom.